What is confirmation? On the outside, confirmation looks like any other ceremony, like a graduation or a party. But to know what's really happening, we have to look deep inside the soul. Your heart was made for God, and like any other muscle, it must be stretched. The more you pray, the more you stretch it, making more and more room for God's love to fill it. God first filled your heart with the Holy Spirit at your baptism. Now a confirmation. The gifts of the Holy Spirit are increased, and you're given a special strength to spread and defend the faith. But who is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is one of the three persons of the Trinity, and one of his titles is a giver of life. In confirmation, as with all the sacraments, God gives you special grace to live like he does, unselfishly and for the good of others. You might not feel a change at the time of confirmation, but the outpouring of the Holy Spirit seals and armors you. This outpouring is precisely what he gave to his disciples. After his death and resurrection, Jesus said that he would give them the Holy Spirit, and through it, the strength they need to tell the entire world about Jesus. 10 days later, on the feast of the Pentecost, Mary and the apostles were hiding in the upper room in Jerusalem. They were scared and didn't know what to do. A strong wind blew on the apostles. All tongues of fire are resting upon their heads. Their souls were filled with the Holy Spirit, and they were given the inspiration and fortitude to face all kinds of persecution and hostility, spreading God's message. A few weeks earlier, Peter had been so afraid that he even denied that he knew Jesus. Now he boldly proclaimed the truth, and on the day alone, over 3,000 people became followers of Jesus Christ. So, why does Jesus invite you to receive that very same outpouring of the Holy Spirit and the sacrament of confirmation? Because, just as he sent the apostles out, he sends you out. And Jesus knows that sometimes we need isn't simply more faith, but the courage to live that faith and share it with others. Filled with the Holy Spirit, the apostles traveled and preached throughout the ancient world and set up the Christian church that we knew today. It wasn't easy. They were mocked, spit on, and even murdered. In your own life and in your family, your school, your community, you will come across people who are in need of conversion and repentance. Just like the apostles did, it is your job to charitably share the gospel, not just in your words, but the way you live and the act of daily basis. So, how does confirmation fit into our life as Christians? We became God's children and receive outpouring the Holy Spirit baptism, which is now being strengthened and confirmed in the sacrament of confirmation. The apostles laid hand on baptized Christians to confirm them 2,000 years ago, and still today, your bishop, a successor of the apostles, will lay his hands on you. The bishop then says, "Be sealed with the gift of the Holy Spirit," as he anoints you in the forehead, just as soldiers with their reader's seal on their armor shoe. Now you got the seal of Jesus. You choose the confirmation, a saint who will be your spiritual guide in heaven, your prayer warrior, as you strive to fulfill God's mission for you. And you choose a sponsor, to be a special help here on earth. He was meant to serve as an example of holiness and walk with you on your journey. So you see, confirmation is not simply recognition of your growth for advancement in the faith. It is not about the claiming the faith as your own. In fact, you do not do anything except receive the grace of God and the strengthening of the Holy Spirit. God does all the work. He gives you the grace into the world as a witness of Jesus Christ. That's why, when you're confirmed, you also receive the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit: the wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, piety, and fear of the Lord.
Courage. This gives us the strength to stand up for what is right in spite of popular opinion. Wisdom. This allows us to see God working in the world always and everywhere. Understanding, by which we are given a deeper insight into the truths of our faith. Knowledge, not quite the same thing as wisdom. With this gift, we are able to recognize God's purpose for our lives. Right judgment, sometimes called counsel, this allows us to recognize the difference between right and wrong and choose right. Reverence, sometimes called piety, this gives us the ability to recognize our need for God. Fear of the Lord. This isn't a fear of punishment, but rather recognition of the enormity and glory of God and our desire to do right by Him.